to the club, 'cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome, listeners, to your exclusive Patreon recording of X-Men Stupid Phoenix movie. We are here to discuss it with and for you, and you will get all of our opinions that are varied and not really varied.
I was gonna say this isn't varied at all, and I think you're putting it right on Front Street.
I'm putting it. I'm not gonna bury
it. All of our thoughts are out.
There we go.
Josh.
I'm not gonna bury the
5
lead.
minutes.
Brian and CJ hated this movie, and I thought it was very entertaining.
Thank you for making us walk around the neighborhood and drive to work. All right, bye. Fun fact: when I went to go see this movie, I just randomly went to go see it one day. Just randomly went to the theater by myself because my wife, thank you, would not join me because she already saw the movie previously with her family and she didn't want to go again. And I'm sitting there in the theater, and then again I just hear down from the bellows, "Is that fucking CJ?"
So here's here's how this happened.
Please.
We walked into the theater, like we turned the corner because you walk the long way around and you turn the corner to go up to your seats there, and Christian goes, "Wow, there's really nobody here." I said, "Except fucking CJ right there."
So there I am, just minding my own business with my popcorn and my grape Sprite. Yeah, I drink grape Sprite when I'm at the movies now. And then there's Josh and Christian.
You're gross.
And I was like, well, okay. Remember, our theater is assigned seating, and it's IMAX.
Yes.
So I'm just like, listen, I'm not going to fuck with the seating arrangements right now, but hey, how are you? Salutations and hello. And then the preview started, and I realized that no one.
Because what if it's a sold out show?
Well, no one's coming, and I'm
no
just
one's
like,
coming. No,
I'm gonna go
I
fucking
just turn
go sit
around.
with
I'm
the
like, look,
Burns.
I know you're in the middle of the theater and
good
all,
seats.
but like, if you want to join us,
I was like, yep, that's fine. I'll do that. I don't really care about my seats for this movie. So I came down and I watched it with the Burns, the Burns gentlemen, and I had a good time. And I know, I know that Josh knew what the hell I was going to be doing right during this movie, which was
right.
I'm just going to talk to her in this entire fucking movie.
So I made Christian switch seats. Like I'm normally on the aisle there,
right.
And I'm like, oh, no. CJ's going to talk this whole time. Christian,
movie.
let's move. Let's switch.
Did Christian get your witty references to outdated materials?
It wasn't.
Christian was loving life, dude. Are you kidding me?
We were both just.
Yeah, they were leaning over me, talking and making fun of the movie, and I'm sitting here like, I kind of like it. I don't know.
So yes, many a good time was had. So that was my positive experience with X-Men Dark Phoenix. But I like to just get some first impressions leaving the theater. And Josh, I would like to start
Phoenix,
with you.
not Stupid Phoenix. Sorry,
Right. Yes,
I misquoted that in the beginning there.
But Josh, let's start with you.
So I think I conveyed to you, and I know I said to Brian that I was actually very entertained. I thought it was a good movie. My initial and only problem, which I said to you in the theater, CJ, was wait. So this is 1992. Is Michael Fassbender supposed to be 61 here? What?
Yeah.
They screwed that one up. So
X-Men and their timelines.
I liked the movie, but I do not like what this crew has done with the timeline at all. Period. Full stop.
Normally, when I'm in a movie like this, where I'm really not enjoying it and I'm not into the movie, I can at least look up at the screen and say, "Well, everybody's giving their best. At least like everyone's giving it their all." And then you look at, I mean, you just look at Jennifer Lawrence, who's clearly just like, "I don't want to be here. Put me in as little makeup as possible. You give me for a few weeks, and
kill me in the first 15 minutes. I'll be good.
Get me the fuck out of here." Jessica Chastain, who clearly was just like, "Oh, I signed up for this one movie thinking it would be something else, and it's not." And then, I mean, Nicholas Hoult just really trying. God, he is going for it, but it's just not going anywhere. I did not like the movie. I thought it was garbage. It didn't make sense to me. I have problems with it, but
garbage is strong. I didn't think it was garbage.
It was hard to
I didn't
watch.
think it was garbage.
It was hard to watch.
And also, Jessica Chastain, she's no Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's be clear.
Okay, Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
First, Jessica Chastain is no. is no Bryce Dallas Howard. Can I get a weigh in on that?
No, I really don't. I like Jessica Chastain.
I like Jessica Chastain.
I like Bryce Dallas Howard.
I think they're both fine. There's no
I
need
like
to
them
put them in
both.
competition.
Yeah, seriously.
I know they're constantly confused for one another, but there's no need to put
All
them in competition.
redheads are compared to each other.
Well, Sophie Turner then. I'm just kidding.
Throw Amy Adams in there as well.
That's true. Anyway. So, yes, Brian, you were just watching X3. I mean...
Yeah, no, I was just watching X-Men Dark Phoenix. I mean, X-Men Last Stand. It was bad. It was really bad.
X3.
I mean, the only movie that was worse than this one was X-Men The Last Stand. Which I don't know how this guy got a second chance.
Yes.
You realize
Can we
is
talk-
the same guy who wrote X-Men The Last Stand.
The writer of X-Men Last Stand not only got to rewrite this movie, he directed it too. He directed Dark Phoenix.
What the hell is
after he
Fox thinking? Hey, what's our most hated X-Men movie? Oh, X-Men The Last Stand. Oh, okay, yeah. You want to give that guy another shot? Well, sure, maybe. No, hey, you want to give him more responsibility? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'm sure he'll get it right this time.
The thing too with this movie,
I like this
morons.
better than Spider-Man 3.
I will not go that far.
I'll go that far for sure. I thought, yeah.
I'll be honest,
I think
Spider-Man 3 was
I haven't seen
god-awful.
Spider-Man 3 in so long, I can't.
I
can't
really
remember how
think Spider-Man 3 is better than like at least 4 of those X-Men movies.
Man, this is rough.
And I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man 3.
You're going far. I mean, I think it's your allegiance
No, I can
to Peter
honestly,
Parker. That's the problem here.
I can honestly and truthfully rank Spider-Man 3
You
ahead of a lot
cannot divorce
of Marvel
yourself
movies.
from your love from Peter Parker.
Here's my problem.
That's not true.
It's
I can.
the Topher Grace Venom, which I get people can justify, but it just didn't work at the time.
Sandman was awful.
Sandman
Was not awful.
I like
Sandman was
Sandman.
great.
He was the
Sandman
redeeming
was
part.
Sandman was like the
awful.
highlight
Yes.
of that
Oh,
movie.
No,
come
Sandman was
on.
the redeeming factor of that movie.
Anyway, first off, there's at least like 10 Marvel movies I could put below Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
That I can tell you that.
Out of 22, there are
Not-
10.
Not
I need you to refer back to the tape because we just
No,
did
no, no,
this.
no, no, no,
Can I
not
finish?
MCU
Can I finish?
movies.
not MCU movies.
Marvel
movies.
Oh.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3 is better than the newest Fantastic Four. It's better than
That's
both
not,
Ghost
are those
Riders.
Marvel movies?
They are
They're
Marvel,
Marvel movies,
properties.
yeah.
It's better than both Ghost Riders. It's better than the Ang Lee Hulk.
Ghost Rider. I forgot about
Are
Ghost
you-
It's better
like-
than Daredevil.
You're scratching at the door.
And it's definitely better than Elektra. It's better than X-Men Apocalypse. It's better than X-Men Dark Phoenix.
All right.
I'm up to 8.
I want
I
to.
don't know. There's no way.
All
it's
right.
better than that.
Let's put some reins back on this thing. And put,
No, because now this has become a Spider-Man spoiler cast.
Oh yeah, this
Slash retro
this
review
conversation's
slash
fast
labradoodle.
becoming a confrontation.
Let's just turn this into Far From Home. All right. Let's just turn
No,
this into
let's
Far
not.
From Home.
Let's continue to talk about this piece of shit.
So let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room for this movie. All right, and that this is Fox's last X-Men movie, with the exception of what is it called, New Mutants, which who knows if that movie's
It's
ever
not gonna
coming out,
happen.
right?
It's
Who
never
knows?
gonna happen.
However, this movie was being filmed, it was written, and it was at least in principle photography when Fox was not owned by Disney. It was eminent, but it wasn't official yet. So there could have been a chance that the deal fell through, and they could have continued with this. But when it became apparent that this movie was going to be their last movie, that Disney was going to take over, they did some rewrites. They took the third act of the movie and just threw it out because apparently it was too close to Captain Marvel,
and it shows.
and it really does show. It's you can see some of the rewrite times. It's rough. I mean,
I consider the whole last 45 minutes just ad lib. I think it's an exercise in improv.
with sets.
I think you're being like so super overcritical.
No,
That it's
I think I'm being just as critical of any other superhero movie or movie in general that I have been.
We're gonna go back to that conversation, Brian, where I said to you, you can't hold this up to Marvel movie standards.
I'm not. I am holding it up to 12 other X-Men
I was
movies.
going to say, in the pantheon of X-Men movies, this is
It is bottom third at the best.
Yeah, this is
Bottom third.
this could be interchanged between the
absolutely
worst and second worst movie.
I would say I would give it third worst. I think Last Stand and I think
I think it's
Origins
middle. I think it's
Wolverine.
middle of the pack. I think it's middle of the pack. Like at worst, I think it's middle of the pack.
And if it was, hey, you have the opportunity to watch this Dark Phoenix or X-Men Origins Wolverine, what do you want to watch? I'd be like,
Dark Phoenix. Give me Dark Phoenix. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
Origins Wolverine is the worst fucking movie ever. Like I think we were pretty clear about that.
Last Stand, I think, is worse than next. Regardless,
No,
I
I'll
think
watch
Last
Last
Stand
Stand
is slightly better than
before I watch
okay.
Origins.
All right.
And
I
I
like
think Brian and I also put Logan in the middle of the pack, which I did not like to do, but I have Dark Phoenix somewhere in that realm because
So here's my question:
I didn't like X2.
Where did this movie go wrong for everybody? When was the moment where you were watching this film and just went, "Oh, okay, that's
The timeline. The timeline is my real and true problem. Like it makes no fucking sense. And not only that, but like we had this conversation before about the true origin of, and since this is a Patreon exclusive, I don't give a shit. I'm going to get a little granular here. X-Men #1, right, was Professor X, Iceman, Beast, Cyclops, and Jean joined in on page 3.
Yeah.
Of the first book, the very first one.
Right.
So like they were original X-Men. I don't like the departure from the story. I never have. I've been a very staunch critic about that. But then when you have First Class, which was a great movie,
Enjoyed it,
happened in
yes.
1962, and then 30 years later, these people haven't aged at all. Like you can explain Mystique away. Fine. She doesn't age like the rest, right? Or if she did, she could just mask it, right? But like for Magneto essentially to be the same age as he was in 62 and the same thing for Professor X except, without the hair. Like they didn't age at all. And that's a problem. Like it's just poor it's poor writing, it's poor casting. If you were going to advance them 30 years, then we should have been back to the Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen timeline.
right.
And it bullshit. I can't accept it.
For me, it went off the rails really early, and it was a stupid detail, but at the same time, I was just like, if we're obviously not trying, fine, fuck it, we're just not trying. It's when they're in space and they're going to save the astronauts in this movie, and you've got Mystique, Cyclops, Beast, Storm, Jean, Quicksilver, Nightcrawler. Okay. They're going to save astronauts who are wearing protective suits, right? Full head-to-toe spacesuits. The hull of their spacecraft is exposed to space. And they're popping in and out of this freaking space vehicle, right? The space station, the space shuttle, wearing nothing but leather jackets and like jeans. And I'm sitting there going, why? How does this work? How are you able to? Okay, so we just don't give a shit. Okay. Fine, I guess this is the movie I'm watching now. Because it was all downhill from there, where the attention to detail and the care into consistency within their powers and their morals just went right off the rails. And I was like, I'm out. I'm okay. All right, I guess it's the movie we're in. Let's buckle up, guys. Let's make this happen. But it's just a dumb detail where all you had to do is just, put a helmet on him. Like, at least a helmet, I would have been okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think Nightcrawler did have a helmet, but none of the others did.
No, but he was still no gloves, just wearing his leather jacket.
Nightcrawler he pops in and out, dude. He doesn't need it.
He can survive for a couple. He can survive a couple seconds in the vacuum of space. Just don't open your eyes. Oh wait, he did. So whatever.
Yeah, he has to look where he's going.
Right, exactly. So there goes your eyes and your.
It's kind of the whole point of his power set.
Yep. Brian, I mean, for you, where did this movie jump the shark? Where did this movie just fall off the cliff for you?
When I purchased my ticket for X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Right.
That's mean.
Right on.
Guys, come on. Let's not be. I called this.
Oh yes.
From the moment this trailer dropped, I called this.
Yes, you've been shitting on this forever. Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
I had no illusions that this was going to be even remotely good.
My other thing too was
it had one decent fight scene, one decent action scene in it. And that's it.
My other thing was the death of Mystique was supposed to be like this catalyst to bring these people together. It was supposed to be such a...
No, it's what tore them apart.
Yeah, right, but that's what I'm saying.
It turned into
That's
X-Men
right.
Civil War.
It's certainly,
It did.
it's exactly right. It wasn't, I don't think it was supposed to bring them together. I think it was supposed to illustrate how separate they actually are.
I'm really, 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 really sick of not just this movie, but other movies and comic book storylines. I'm really sick of these storylines that paint Professor X as some maniacal villain who is keeping things from his students when that was never supposed to be the character. They did it in X3. He somehow, because we got the same fucking writer for some reason, decided it was the best part of X3, so we're going to do it again. And guess what? Professor X is an evil person who kept all of this from Jean. Like, that's a terrible storyline, because then your main protagonist for the past 3 movies now becomes your villain, and you don't know why. You don't know how you got there. There's no motivation. It's not like a misunderstanding. He purposely blocked certain memories from her mind.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's not the character. At least not the character that she set up for the past 3 movies.
It's the same thing he did in the comic books. He suppressed the worst parts of her.
Right, but in the...
He didn't do that in the comic.
He absolutely suppressed the worst parts of her to bring out the best of her. And that was
with her consent, and that was during the Dark Phoenix saga. That is different.
I understand what it was. I fucking read the books. What I'm saying is it's no different than what he did in the books. It's just they omitted the consent part.
Well, that's a big detail.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think it's that big a leap to say.
It's actually the whole crux of this movie. The whole crux of this movie is you did this to me.
The whole moral
I can't believe this. You
movie.
lied. You didn't tell me.
It was the same thing as X3. It's no different than X3.
That's kind of our problem. That's kind of our problem with it. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
that's kind of my point.
It's the same story, and I get what you're saying, but like,
well, the other thing too is even the relationship that she had with Scott wasn't even fully developed and didn't seem to really like. It didn't really seem to matter.
Yeah.
You're right about that. That's actually a really good point. Like, it didn't seem like they had a relationship at all.
Short stick.
Yeah, no, seriously. Hold on, I do want to talk about this. It really didn't seem like Scott and Jean had a relationship at all.
It didn't seem like Scott was like a part of the movie.
No,
like
no, they keep screwing him over.
Very, very.
In all of these X-Men
and
movies.
again, going back to what I said originally, like he was one of the first X-Men.
Yes,
like Cyclops deserves at least a little respect. But it seemed like, the only guys that got it were like Beast, Nightcrawler got an undeserved amount of respect. Mystique until she died. And then obviously the whole movie's focused on Jean. But
unfortunately, the only part of this movie that I really enjoyed, that I really could just sit back and be like, yeah, I don't really care what's happening right now, with the exception of one little detail, was the train scene, which was, we all looked in the trailer and, Mystique's not there. And going, oh, well, this looks pretty cool. Ripping. I mean, she's taking the train right off the tracks. We got a lot of things going on.
I enjoyed the Dazzler cameo.
Yeah, that was fun.
Brian, the train thing was right out of the Dark Phoenix saga, right?
Don't believe so.
All right, I thought it was. I thought I recalled a panel of.
There's been I'm sure they've done it before, but I don't think in that.
I remember turning to Josh
right.
during that scene, just going, they're making these teenagers very big murderers. There's a lot of murder.
Oh yeah, they don't
right
care. They are 17 with a license to kill.
Yeah, wow.
They don't even have an actual license. They just kill people.
It's just good to go. I'm still. All right, so let's talk about Jessica Chastain and her alien race that came to Earth.
What alien race? What
was it? I'm so confused. What the hell was
so
it?
Dumb.
What were they?
So dumb. The
What?
placement of that character was ridiculous.
But this is my problem with the movie as a whole. There is no explanation as to what her alien race is,
right?
Why they're doing what they're doing,
right?
Why does she want the Phoenix Force?
Yep.
They very much allude to the fact that the Phoenix Force destroyed their planet.
But what are they going to do with it? Are they going to weaponize it? Are they going to save it?
What is your end game, Jessica? What is your end game?
How does she hope to harness it? Right? Because
she hopes
she never said
she
never said a thing to Jean about like leaving or going somewhere. She was just like, "Oh, you should use it." What?
And then she wants it, I guess. She wants because it's
She can't, but she can't get
So
it.
hold on.
She also makes a point of telling Jean that she should have died.
Yes.
So why would she want it if she knows she's going to die? It makes no sense.
The whole character was useless.
And they start off with her coming into like that cabin out in the woods, and they're just murdering everybody in there. And you're just like, okay, bad guy, cool. But then you're just like, but I don't know why you're bad. I don't know why you're bad. Why are you bad? Just because you're bad? We're doing melodramatic stuff here?
Right. Is there any purpose or reason or rhyme to your actions?
But this
don't know.
Is the problem with the movie. There's no plot. It's just things happening.
People just do things.
Yes.
People just do things. We give Jean the Dark Phoenix, and then now she just does
Same thing
stuff,
with Magneto.
And people are scared of her. There was no plot. There was no character development except for shitty character development.
They're like, oh wait. It
nothing.
worked. It worked for the Joker.
Right. Okay.
So it should work here, right?
No, just copy paste that.
No.
I remember one distinct moment where I turned to Josh, and this I couldn't believe what was happening in front of me. They find Magneto on that island that they were given.
Genosha.
Right.
That was supposed to be Genosha.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was supposed to be? But I'm sitting there going, in all of these movies, if you were to pick one character to start a little mutant hippie commune, would Magneto be the one that you would choose to be roughing it in the middle of the ocean in like a converted trailer, like a converted like a converted cargo freight box for a home?
He built a place with Lincoln logs instead of metal. What?
Yeah. I'm like, why is he a hippie commune? This makes no sense to me. And then he leaned over to me, and that's when he was like, he's also like 30 years younger than he should be.
Because they needed him in the story. The past 3 movies with Magneto have been, hey, how can we get Magneto in here?
Right.
We like Michael Fassbender. How can we write Magneto into this movie? Like,
I'm sorry, but he was probably just like, listen, I know that Jen.
They just keep.
I know Lawrence
him.
got out in the first 20. Can you get me in until the last 40, and then this way I don't have to do a whole lot of other stuff?
There are so many other stories and other villains in the X-Men universe that you could tap.
Yep.
That they haven't even touched.
Nope.
They keep on forcing Magneto in, and Magneto is a great character when done correctly. And in First Class, he was done great, and Ian McKellen did him very well. And then, now it's just time to stop. He did not. There's no role for him in this movie.
Here's something I have, and I'm curious to just get your darn perspective on what I'm about to read. I want to read to you. I want to get your darn perspective. This is the plot summary that I found for this movie. Just someone tell me if we hit the mark. The X-Men, protectors of peace. Jean Grey is one of the most beloved X-Men, but when a mission goes wrong, Jean is exposed to a dark ancient power. The power has destroyed everything it's come in contact with until her. Now this power is becoming unstable. She releases it with destruction and anger. Now this foreign power is consuming her, and the world is threatened. The X-Men have to face an important truth. They must either save the world or their friend who threatens it.
What do you?
Is that what this movie was about?
No.
I mean, no, I know, but
And they made okay. So they're making the X-Men popular, right? They had a bunch of admirers, right, when they were going to go on the space shuttle mission. When they came back, Professor Xavier apparently was
working with the government.
Right.
He's on magazine covers.
Here's
Xavier was an
right?
attention whore, which made no sense.
Obviously, we've had Magneto in almost every movie.
Yeah.
We've seen Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, blah blah blah. We've never seen Mr. Sinister. Even though we have seen the Juggernaut, it was really more prevalent in Deadpool than anywhere else, right? We haven't seen the Sentinels. Emma Frost was kind of badly done.
We saw the Sentinels in Days of Future Past.
Yes,
that was the main villain.
Kinda. We saw Sebastian Shaw. We saw Stryker. We kind of saw Lady Deathstrike, and we kind of saw Pyro. But there's a lot, there's a lot out there that we have, like the Marauders we haven't seen. We've never seen Silver Samurai or Sauron or
nothing with the Savage Land, nothing with the Morlocks.
No Mastermind, no Dark Beast. We saw Azazel, but he was kind of shit too. So like,
Yeah.
and also Scarlet Witch played a really big part as a villain in the X-Men universe, and we never saw that. So like,
What I guess we're trying to say
Brian's
is that,
point is absolutely 100%. Oh, and also Holocaust. No
Yeah.
Holocaust. Like what a missed opportunity that is. Right? Or Avalanche or Bastion, like, or Vulcan. Like, look, I can draw from a million books I read as a kid and think like there'd be about, 15 different ways we could do this better if like they would just let me and Brian do it.
There you go. Again, hire Brian for movies. And Josh,
Yeah, I'll just sign on as like an EP.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't even really need much credit. I'll just be there.
Consultant
to do
by
the
Josh
hobnobbing.
Burns.
Yeah.
I'll get craft services and meet the.
I'll eat the food
Yeah.
on set. It'll be fine.
Maybe get the thanks at the end. Was there any redeeming thing? Was there anything in this movie though that you were like, at least you did that right? If at least you're gonna fuck up everything.
I thought Sophie Turner was the right casting for Jean Grey.
I've always thought Sophie Turner was the right casting. She's
Yeah,
just in two shit movies.
and I like the
That-
fighting
right.
stuff that they did with Nightcrawler in the train. I thought he was a really good.
I
fighter.
mean, I could have done that. There could have
It
been.
reminded
better.
me of the White House scene, and was it X2?
yes.
Right, it reminded
Yeah,
me of a
it
little
was,
bit of
which
that
was
scene,
a
which is
which was
awesome.
a shit scene.
No, it wasn't.
You
Yes,
are
it-
way off base with all. No. Hang on. You're way off base with all of your thoughts on X2. So can we not discuss that, please?
You're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
I'm way off base with all my
Yes.
thoughts of X2?
Yes.
You're out of your fucking mind.
X2 is one of the best X-Men movies.
You're
of all
out of
time.
your goddamn
No, it's a
mind.
I am
fantastic
not
X-Men
That's
movie.
that's crazy talk. I
It's a
can't even.
90% of America
I
agrees
can't
with
even.
it.
I
Good.
can't even with you right now.
A good movie. Okay, so obviously we like
The
Sophie
Dazzler
Turner.
scene was awesome. That's
The
what
what-
I'm
the what
bringing
scene?
to the table. I enjoyed Dazzler. Finally seeing Dazzler. And you would think I would see Dazzler in the one that took place in the 70s, but no. I waited till the 90s
Wasn't that
to get the
supposed to
Disco
be
Queen.
Taylor Swift? Thank God it wasn't. But
I don't freaking know. I didn't know
she's
that.
the
no.
music artist, right? She had the record.
Who?
Am I thinking of
We're
somebody
talking
else?
about Dazzler or Taylor Swift?
Dazzler.
Dazzler is a musician.
Right.
yes,
That was supposed
with
to be
mutant
Taylor
powers.
Swift. It's not, but
Well,
it's supposed to
yeah,
be Taylor Swift.
she's like what? She converted
She converts sound
Sound
waves
into
into
light.
to
light.
like energy, to like
It's like-
light and energy.
It's like Jubilee, but
right?
she sings,
Jubilee. No, Jubilee's
not
different.
like
She literally-
Jubilee.
Jubilee literally has like fireworks that
Yeah,
come out of her fingers.
She's more like she's more like Siren, right?
but she's converting the sound waves into like light.
Right.
But yeah,
But in that way, yeah. And
Sure.
and you're right.
that's
like,
why
but,
she's a musician.
But you didn't see like Dazzler was like early 80s, right?
She was introduced in the 70s, in the age of disco.
Was she?
Yeah,
I thought she was like
why I'm saying she should have been in the one that took place in the 70s during the
Alright.
age of disco.
Yeah, I mean, Disco Dazzler was her like one of her aliases, but she was a Ramita, a John Ramita thing. I thought that was the 80s. All right.
No, Ramita was, was doing work
I
in the
defer to
70s.
you. I defer to you.
Yeah, no, Ramita was doing work in the 70s. Anywho,
Listen,
my point is,
bottom line, honestly, I think we're really at the end of the conversation. This movie really fell flat for a lot of things.
You're just done. You're just done with us talking now, CJ.
yeah, seriously.
I mean,
you just.
gonna
Oh
cut
yeah,
us right
I said sorry. I see how. I see
I've
how
had my
that's-
fill.
That's great.
are we not just circling the same?
I don't know what the listeners want to hear. We're just talking here.
All right.
There's you cutting us off.
I mean, if you want to watch a better version
fucking
of this
welcome
story,
back, CJ.
Carry on. Proceed. Got Chlorophyll Man up there talking about God knows what. All I hear from you is making out.
Borophyll, am I right?
I don't know how this turned into Billy
No, I gotta
Madison.
say, you got a fucking dog. You got a responsibility. You get out there and you find that fucking dog. I mean, if we're gonna quote Billy Madison, let's quote Billy Madison. I still think it was,
give me a
I still
second.
think it was the 80s.
I gotta go take.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
What, when Dazzler got introduced?
February 1983. I was right.
Give me a second. I gotta go take a Dark Phoenix. I'll be right back. But you guys can continue to discuss.
That's terrible.
1980?
83?
She first appeared in Uncanny X-Men 130,
Was it 80?
February 1980.
I see what I'm seeing.
She was
is
still heavily influenced by disco. So
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know why.
yeah. Uncanny X-Men 130, February 1980. Okay,
Yeah.
I see it. But she was John Romita creation.
Yes, she looks like one at least. Hang on, I can tell you for sure. Created by Tom DeFalco and John Romita Jr.
There you go.
Junior, not senior.
I'm not that far off. What's the difference between junior and senior? They're both fucking amazing artists, right?
No, yeah, no, they are. I'm just saying two different people.
Well, yeah. I'm not my father. You're not. Yours.
Listen, normally I also like to just kind of look around and see if we can find any second opinions on the movie that are opposite of what we feel. And I went and I found the highest ranking I could find, right, for it. It was Entertainment Weekly. They gave it a 75, okay?
Out of, like, 10,000?
Out of 100. Gave it a 75.
That's 7.5 out of 10.
That is a C.
If you're in public school, sure.
Right, and exactly. And, in Catholic school,
most people are in public school.
Yep.
Because it's public.
And this is the one-liner that I got from it, right? The one sentence. For what is being called a final installment, it all tends to feel both anticlimactic and a little grim in the end. That was a positive review.
That's a 7.5?
That's a 7.5.
This movie is anticlimactic, so you get 7.5 out of 10.
And a little grim.
I really think they need to reevaluate.
The one that was a
grades.
63, okay? 63.
You know what? I want to meet that person, right? And there's two things. I want to say, hey, what's your basis for this? And when they start to explain, I want to spin them around and I'm going to hoof them in the nuts from behind.
Right. Here's another one I had. This was a 63, okay, from IGN. Dark Phoenix is ultimately yet another fumbled take on a classic saga of the Marvel Comics, albeit one without the side plots of The Last Stand. Add to it a jittery and uneven later half with some underdeveloped cosmic villains. The Dark Phoenix is unfortunately another bad take on a ended series that went down in flames.
But still gets a 6.3 out of 10?
Yep.
No.
So
so if I'm rating this movie, it's like a solid 3.7.
It's funny.
That's where I'm at.
It's funny you say that. I have a 3.8, right? Just for some reference. This film is an all too fitting whimper of a conclusion to a franchise that was never remotely fulfilled its potential.
It's like the same thing the last guy said that gave it a 6.3.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
All right. I need you to stop.
I think what we're really learning
listening to these idiots.
I think what we're learning here is that movie criticism is objective.
Subjective.
And the points do not matter.
Not objective at all.
No.
Subject.
Who wants to guess at some of the taglines for this movie? It's a pretty easy one. Come on.
You don't know her power.
No.
Her power is unreal.
No.
She has all the power.
No. Brian?
Power.
Prepare for a dumpster fire? I don't know.
All right. The obvious one is the Phoenix will rise. Right?
Okay.
The obvious one is prepare for a dumpster fire.
The Phoenix will rise, the X-Men will fall. That's pretty apt, actually. Every hero has a dark side, and the X-Men's final battle will be their greatest.
Nothing about power.
Nothing about power.
Bullshit. Because the whole movie was about this power.
Josh, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, it's an X-Men movie. Yeah, you should see it. Everyone should see it once. It was better than Origins. It was better than the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a watch.
Brian, would you recommend this movie?
That's a loaded question. That really depends. Am I talking to somebody like me, or am I talking to Joe Schmo off the street?
Let's say this. Let's just make our answer for Joe Schmoes off the street. People who don't have the obligation to go see this movie.
All right, Joe Schmo off the street. Save your $10 in 2 hours. You don't need to see this movie. Unless you're a fan of the X-Men, then go see this.
Just answer the goddamn question.
No. I just did.
You did, with my caveat. I'll say this. Listen, regardless of fan of X-Men, not a fan of X-Men, if you are going to see this movie, make sure it's in a way that's free. All right, if it's on Netflix, if it's on HBO, don't pay for it. But if you really want to see this movie, just fine, but don't pay for it. It's my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it.
Good, right?
No, I didn't either, technically.
We all feel good we didn't pay for it. All right, listen, I'm sorry this one was a little grim, but so was the movie. But the good news is, you guys, patrons, didn't get to vote for the next movie that we were going to see because it's Spider-Man Far From Home. And yes, this is going to be great. We've all seen it, actually. We will give you the customary 2 weeks, and then we will drop this episode. Thank you again so much for your continued support of this show. It means the world to us. I'm glad that we could see this movie, so hopefully you didn't have to. And if you choose to, again, just do it in a way that's free. Thank you so much for making us your abbreviated walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you on the next episode.
Well, welcome to the club, 'cause you are that kind of nerd.